Self-Love is the New Sexy, the podcast devoted to helping you overcome life's most painful and stubborn challenges so you can feel great, have more energy, and live stress-free every day. To reach your full potential, simply work with the powerful spiritual principles that are readily accessible to everyone. It's easier than you think, and on today's show, W. Mark Watts is going to show you how starting with self-love is the key to joyously and harmoniously making that happen.
Hey everybody, this is W. Mark Watts. Welcome and thank you for hanging out with me for another episode of Self-Love is the New Sexy. And today's episode is entitled The $1 Billion Self-Love Strategy. The $1 Billion Self-Love Strategy. Now, this is going to be maybe a little bit different than the typical episode. So I want to ask you to bear with me for a minute, but I think if you stay with me till the end, you will get something from it. And hopefully you'll agree with me in some way, shape, or form and maybe adopt this way of thinking even more so into your everyday life. So what am I talking about? What am I rambling about? And I'm rambling just because I always get excited when I talk about this topic. And the $1 billion self-love strategy is simply this. It's maintaining very good relationships with my very best friends. Now, if you've been hanging out with me for a while, I'm sure you've heard me mention on several different episodes. I think I've mentioned some of my best buddies and some of the things we might have done and this, that, and the other. But I was doing an episode a few days ago. And while I was doing that episode, I mentioned one of my friends, one of my great friends in this group. And so that's what kind of got the wheels turning about mentioning my whole group of friends, great group of friends again. And how could I tie that into an episode relevant for all of the listeners? So this is the best I got right now, so I'm rolling with it. So if you don't know, I just did the numbers again, and there's a group of 13 of us who we've all known each other since some of us met when we were 15 years old, and the balance of us met each other when we were 17, 18 years old. So it's been a long time that we've all known each other. We all met through Clemson University, which is where we either went to a summer camp and or we all went to college there. So that's where those friendships started. And it's so funny how life works out, because growing up, I was one of 4 kids, but I have 3 older sisters. And I always wanted a brother, because even when growing up, all of my good friends growing up had brothers. So I wanted a brother, and of course never got one. And so that was on my wish list. Well, needless to say, when I turned 17, 18, I eventually ended up with 12 brothers. So you never know how life's going to turn out. So you just, you put your wish out and then you see what life brings you, right? So fast forward to now, I'm going to actually post a picture of the group of us. Everyone was there except for 3 of us, 3 of the crew that we actually have a name for our group. We call ourselves the Fresh Express. And that was the name we came up with while we were participating in intramural sports. We thought it was nice. It was like a little logo that we carried, and we actually still use that name to this day. But we are all really good friends with each other. Now, again, with a group of 13, we're all not as tight with each other as you might be with some. That's going to be the case regardless of what you are. But we do have a good group. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up in an episode is because the one thing that I think is important, at least for me, now I can't speak for any of them, but for me, they are a part of my self-love therapy. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is one way, and there's many ways that I love myself, but one way that I love myself is I do my best to maintain good relationships with the people I care most about. and I care a lot about these guys. We've had so much fun together. Again, at the time that I'm recording this episode, we've known each other 35, 36, 37, 38 years. That's a long time. And we still maintain that friendship. We have a group chat that we keep open, that we talk about everything. So not only do we support each other, but we love each other. We listen to each other. We poke fun and we joke with each other, but we discuss life topics with each other. We share family things. We share hurts. We share successes. We congratulate each other. We share pictures, plans, everything. Even though we're all, a few of us live in the same place. Most of us live between, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. Most of us live in those three states. But then there's, one that lives in Texas, one lives in Missouri, and one's right now in the state of Pennsylvania because he's in the service. He moves around a little bit. So, but regardless of where we are, we always keep in touch with each other. We stay connected. We even do live Zoom calls where we get together and, we have a drink together, we toast, we celebrate birthdays, the whole 9 yards. So that's one strategy that I use to love myself. And so I invite you, if you don't already do that, to consider doing this as a self-love strategy for yourself. Now, it doesn't have to necessarily be friends. It can be family. But whatever that group, or even people at work, because, if you work at a place, you spend a lot of time there, you tend to have what's called your work family, right? So it's whatever group of people or whatever, wherever. They don't all have to be in one group. But the people that you really care about, I think it's very important that you nurture those relationships, that you pay attention, that you stay engaged, you stay connected. Because again, we don't come to this world to live alone. Connections and friendship and relationships and family, all those things enhance our journey. They make it more enjoyable, takes it to a higher level. And we've done so many great things. Like I was gonna say earlier, we all went to Vegas to celebrate year 50 for all of us, because we were all in that core year, which was a year or so ago, a little over a year now. And we took a group picture at dinner. Now, again, everyone was there, but there was 3 that weren't able to make it for various reasons, conflicting engagements or events. But I'm going to post that picture because I don't think I posted it on Instagram yet. So I'm going to post it, the picture of Fresh Express, if I can say it. So if you listen to this episode, go check me out on Instagram, W Mark Watts, and just look for the picture entitled Fresh Express, and you'll see me and all my buddies, minus 3. But there's some additions that are in there that we invited to join us that night for dinner. So we all went to Vegas to celebrate, year 50. We were out there for 4 days. Actually, 2 of us were out there for a whole week. But the majority of us, the activities were for 4 days. And we just hung out. We caught up. We had some drinks. We had laughs. We toured around the place. We, went to a concert. We went to a club. We did all kind of things. Of course, went out to dinner and all kind of stuff. But I'm rambling on here, and I hope that you gather how important these relationships are to me. Even though they're all friends, none of us are related. Well, that's one set of brothers in the group. But outside of that, none of us are related. However, I consider them my family. We've been around long enough. We hung out long enough, with each other. We know each other so well. And it's just a beautiful thing. And I'm so grateful and thankful for these guys that, I just wanted to kind of do a quick episode to kind of give you an idea of just another strategy, another way that I love myself. And again, I want to invite you to do those same things, because when you nurture those relationships, it comes back to you tenfold. So you've got access to these great people. So be sure that you take advantage of them. You allow them to be who they are. They allow you to be who you are. And again, overall, it enhances the experience for everybody. So I'm going to wrap this thing up. But again, if you get to the end of this podcast episode and you want to check us out, I'll post a picture tonight on my Instagram, W Mark Watts, and go check it out. And that's me and my crew. Been together for a long time, and I imagine we're gonna be together until the ship crashes. We're gonna be here together until it's over. So just be aware that love is all around us. When you recognize it, you become aware of it, really nurture it. Pay attention to it, stay connected to it, and you'll find it's much easier. It makes life so much easier, and it's a built-in, automatic, easy, simple way to love yourself more each and every day. So, got to end there. As always, it's a pleasure hanging out with you folks, and I look forward to speaking with you all again very soon. Bye now.
You've been listening to Self-Love is the New Sexy with W. Mark Watts. If you enjoyed today's show, be sure to tell a friend. Also, make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing to our show on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you listen to podcasts.